Thank you, gentlemen, for joining me on the show. This is a fascinating conversation I've been wanting to have. Let's get started. Let's get an overview of the smartphone category on Amazon, Nishant. Have you witnessed any major changes post the pandemic in buying patterns, the way people are actually getting the kind of products they're buying? What's the big difference now?
Two big changes, Rajiv. What we have seen, the Indian smartphone market or the Indian mobile phone market, I think is unique in the terms that it has a very, very large feature phone base, perhaps an installed feature phone base of about 300 odd million. And during the pandemic, we saw a big shift in terms of people upgrading from feature phones to smartphones. Customers who were into the entry-level smartphones over the last 3 to 4 years, I suspect India would have sold about 100 million entry-level smartphones in the period between 2017 to 2020. And those customers now suddenly had a lot more to do. They could watch content, they could do video calls, and therefore we saw that the segment which is slightly more premium, priced above 15 or 20,000 rupees, that exploded in growth as well, growing at about 50% year on year. So to summarize, Rajiv, I think the two big trends that we saw is that the market grew at the extremes. The entry-level segment and the mid to premium segment were the two segments that really, grew at a rate which was very, very high.
Arijit, can you give me some more insight into your brand's product portfolio, the product mix, which works for online, which is for offline? You're a brand that plays in both. Do you mix it up? Is there a different strategy for both markets?
Thanks, Rajiv, for having me here. See, as the consumer is gravitating around the online space, we do not want to miss the opportunity to be a player in the e-commerce space. So we are actually not moving offline or online. We are following our consumer. Our approach is not about addressing one channel or other. We are actually addressing wherever the consumer is going. So last year, during the pandemic, offline moved as high as 48 to 50%. This year, it's around 45% online and 55 offline. But since the consumer is changing and we want to catch 45% of our consumers online, Amazon is a strong player. It's a global player. It's there across the world. Techno is there in more than 70 countries. And there is a mutual trust and admiration. So I think this journey with Amazon and Techno will really help us and will help the consumers for a better experience. And we are committed to the local market.
Arijit, can you give me some more insight into your brand's product portfolio, the product mix, which works for online, which is for offline? You're a brand that plays in both. Do you mix it up? Is there a different strategy for both markets?
Consumers prefer Techno as they get the segment first and premium specs and premium technology within their budget. Each product is designed based on the local needs and preferences of the consumers in the environment. See, at Techno, technology innovation for better localization is the core DNA. So we have 5 product lines, Rajiv. Pop, which focuses at the entry level. Spark, all-round smartphone. Ova is high on performance and it's also very strong for gamers. Camon is a camera-centric phone. And Phantom, it is more of high on aspiration plus innovation. Recently, we launched Phantom X, which has 70% curved AMOLED screen. It is the segment first in the price point that we are giving. For us, primarily, we prefer to have most of the models same for online and offline. Couple of models, since we have an amazing tie-up with Amazon now, we did bring only for online, and couple of models going forward, we will continue to bring exclusive online. This year, we plan to have around 20 to 25 smartphones across price range. And as Nishant said, 5G is actually booming. So we will have 3 to 4 smartphone 5G as of now.
Nishant, let's talk a little bit about the insight on behavior. So you spoke about the extreme shift, how the consumer demand has changed. Now you guys do great analytics, right? Give us some insight on the behavior leading to the shift in consumer requirement and demand.
Yeah, I think, Rajiv, the big behavioral shift that we see now is that The average number of minutes that customers are using for smartphones today versus what they were using let's say a few years ago, I think there is a tectonic shift there. And smartphones, I think, are becoming more and more a part of your everyday life, right? Whether it is, there are new use cases which have emerged. Video calling is a new use case. OTT is a new use case. Gaming in India is so small; it's not even penetrated well. That's going to be a major use case. So the number of things on which people are using smartphones, I think that's the big behavioral shift. And smartphones, therefore, are becoming an integral part of people's lives, and therefore, people want or customers want not only a smartphone. The feature phone customer wants a smartphone now, but the existing smartphone customers want a better smartphone. They want a smartphone with richer features, right? So that all these use cases, these emerging use cases, are taken care of. So honestly, I think smartphones are no longer just a device to talk to. They've become these mini computers, and that's what's, I think, the biggest change in terms of user engagement that we have seen.
So now that we've heard that you're getting your strategy bang on, what else can we expect from Techno to really, really excite consumers and take that triple digit to maybe even 4 digits? That would be a miracle. But the Indian consumer, Amazon, Techno, maybe all put together, you guys can make it happen. So what is it? What can be the big one, the total needle mover?
So first of all, it gives Techno a lot of confidence when Nishant from Amazon talks big about the brand. And actually, Nishant is right. It's a 3-digit growth that we are having, and we only want to increase it. See, now, as Nishant said, that the gaming smartphones, the current market size is very small. So with POVA smartphones, we are getting into gaming as a mainstream smartphone. With Phantom and with other models, we will keep on surprising the consumers with very high technology.
All right. Thank you so much, Nishant and Arijit. It's been fascinating talking to both of you, and I would like to do this again and again. Thank you for joining me on the show.